Episode 7.
Episode 7. Let's go.
A black man in the chat.
Absolutely. Finally got some nice title cards and
Yeah. Moving
got
on
an
up.
emblem. Yep.
Moving
Slowly
on
but
up.
surely this thing's getting put together. And that's what's kind of cool. It's like the start never has to be pretty.
Right.
The start just has to start.
Absolutely.
Like get out there and start doing something. Even if it looks like a mess, you can clean it up later. That's why I love what you did to the YouTube page. Everything looks sleek and sharp. And yeah, my sister made the emblem. So
shouts out to your sister, bro.
yeah, absolutely.
The emblem and the logo, it looks so sleek and nice.
Yep.
Professional.
Yep. And she knew exactly what I wanted to. It's just like, yeah, we want to do like black and white,
right?
Kind of resembling us a little bit. And then also having like the switch where it's like, yeah, like just everything she said, she was like, okay, just told her once in like one sentence. And she made that. I was like, oh my goodness.
And she killed it.
She killed it.
She really did.
Absolutely.
And it's wild too, because the topic that we want to talk about today is judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And as soon as you can look at our brand new emblem or our brand new logo, a lot of people can judge the book by its cover, right?
It's very true.
They can be like,
yeah.
Some people they might be biased about it. Some people might be like, I'm not interested. They probably just talk about black people and white people and this and that. They can judge the book by its cover. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing for us.
Yeah.
You know, because as soon as people do tap into this podcast, which is we're on our 7th episode, we're still fresh in this and whatnot. As soon as they tap into it, they can be like, man, these people actually have some good values to actually share amongst the world.
Yeah.
And that actually touch on whomever, all demographics, right?
Yeah.
Men, women, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. It doesn't matter what you are, you know. Don't judge the book by its cover. Why don't you guys open up the book in this sense? Open up the podcast, check us out, check out these episodes that we're doing. And you can for sure then have an assumption or a judgment upon us.
Yeah. Like an initial reaction sort of thing. And you might watch these and be like, these are horrible.
Garbage.
I'm never going to click on one of these again. But that's what I notice. A lot of people who just keep going, they keep getting sharper. They keep spending time in their craft. In this case, we're doing this on the side, right?
Absolutely.
1 or 2 episodes every like week or so. And it's like, yeah, maybe we're not good now, but maybe you'll recognize the name, the emblem, something down the road, be like, oh, I remember them, but oh my gosh, they're so much sharper.
Right.
Oh, they got a set. Oh, they have guest appearances. Oh, they're better looking, or just whatever, right? Just they have leveled up in life just because they decided to start.
Right.
Starting pretty doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to
but
be.
This is just, we'll gain the audience that we
sure.
deserve off of us just getting sharp episode after episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to us getting sharper and sharper, in order to get sharper and sharper, you have to actually do it.
Gotta be
you
in
actually
the arena.
Have to you got to be in the arena, right? You have
Yeah.
to be you have to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not making content consistently and getting the hang of and the groove of things like this, per se,
yeah,
it could be tough. It could be a challenge.
Absolutely.
It could be to the point where a lot of people can start podcasts and they can kind of just fizzle out if they don't see a certain number of views and subscribers. Well, don't forget to subscribe to this and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family member to tell a hater. Okay, don't forget and hit the like button as well. But it's like you have to step out there and actually do it. It's gonna suck, and people are for sure gonna be judging you right and left. Like, man, these people ain't got nothing, no value. They don't got nothing to say to us. We don't got to listen to them.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, we're touching certain lives out there already, Chad. Like episode 7, I already know this episode is gonna touch millions of lives. I promise you, because everybody judges a book by its cover.
Absolutely. And it kind of shows you just like a starting point for people too. Like everyone sees like the perfected, conversationalist, right? They see like the Jordan Peterson, but they didn't see him 30, 40 years ago where he was still trying to learn stuff.
For sure.
Even if he was sharp as a kid, he's not as sharp as he is now.
Absolutely.
That's what's cool about this podcast is we started. Here it is. And we're going to keep going. But one thing that you touched based on that I think a lot of people do stop kind of going back to like judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
If someone has value to give, either if it's a podcast just like this, maybe they're into art, maybe they're into something totally different than that, but they stop because they get judged, right?
Mm.
Someone either they are close to or someone that they had never met before says something negative, let's just say, even if they're like trying to come from like a good place, they'll take that feedback and go, I just was judged. I didn't like that judgment. Now I'm going to stop.
Wow.
So how would you look at that actually? When it
Honestly,
comes to judgment, you're receiving judgment.
right, right. And that can lead to hurt, right? A lot of people, when it comes to that kind of judgment,
Mhm.
it's like there's going to be judgment regardless.
Yeah.
If you're
You
doing
do
something,
anything.
if you're doing something great, if you're doing something that's bad, there's going to be people that are going to judge you regardless.
Yes.
So if you end up letting your opponent per se win that judgment battle,
Hmm.
it's like, yo, you're only defeating yourself. You're defeating your own purpose.
Yeah.
You know, when you deep down inside, you know that you have a purpose and you have a vision that can touch people's lives throughout the entire world.
Yeah.
But your own family member or your own friend or that hater said, you can't do it. And then you end up saying, you know, I guess you're right. I don't really feel good today. In Reno, Nevada, it's kind of cloudy today. I don't know if I'm going to do this episode with you, Chad. I feel kind of down. My friend, he said that we're not going to make it. We're not going to be anyone in life when it comes to making that kind of podcast. And
Yeah.
now I'm just beating myself up. And it's like, it can become the judgment game, the judgment blame, blaming other people for your non-success.
Your current situation. Yeah.
Right? It's like, yo, you guys have to just go out there and just do it. Regardless of how many people are judging you, people are going to judge regardless.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, a foe, anyone, people are going to judge regardless. So why don't you just say, I got this? And that can stem off of having confidence, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they lack confidence to the point where it's like, if you tell me, Kev, you can't do it. For me, I'm like, you say I can't do it, but watch. Wait, in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you're gonna be like, damn. I remember telling him that he couldn't do it. Just because I was judging him off of his past. Just because I was judging that he used to stutter a lot. And he couldn't really get out there in the public eye and just do certain talks like this in front of people. Yes, keep on judging, and I'm gonna win at the end of the day. You have to have that winning mindset.
I was going to say that's actually very critical. Is like when you said someone to say tells you today, you're not going to succeed in this or in anything.
Right.
You could take that and it really determines on how you internalize that. Do
Absolutely.
you see that as a playful challenge? Do you see that as like the end? Like, oh, this person, it's like two stories clashing. It's like, here's your story of where you're at and where you want to go. And then here's someone else's perspective on your story. So which story are you going to add more value to? Which one are you going to let win?
Right.
Right. You're going to let this person who gives you negativity to then corrupt your story and go, you know what? They're right. I'm going to stop.
Damn.
You know, it's kind of like that one. I think it's a Native American tale. I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
Absolutely.
How it's like there's two wolves and they're in an eternal battle. There's a good wolf and there's a bad wolf.
Right.
There's your story and then the outside world story. You know, and then the kid asks the dad, you know, hey, you told me that story when I was growing up. Which wolf actually won? He's like, oh, the wolf you fed. So which one? That's why I really like what you said.
Wow.
Like, oh, you know, you see it as a challenge. You're like, oh, you just told me something negative. Let me take that. Let me fuel that and see the positivity in that negativity to where it's going to make me win harder.
Boom.
It's going to make me attack this that much better,
Gold.
that much stronger because you said no to me.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm going to take your feedback. I'm going to look at what good is in it and what critiques I should listen to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to internalize it and determine how my life's going to go. Because
Absolutely.
it's your life. It's not someone else's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It's your life.
And there's so much strange stuff out there as it is, you know,
Right.
good, bad, or indifferent. It's like everyone that you see that strange stuff, you're like, you know what? They're believing their life. They're believing their story. At least they're standing up for something.
For sure.
You know, even if you personally don't agree with it, or if a society doesn't agree with it, at least they're standing up and they believe in something and they're continuing to beat to their drum,
Exactly.
not someone else's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing too, is that we all have a story, right? we all have a story to the point where your story is different than mine, Chad.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a black man, you're a white man, a black man to Chad, right? Handsome white man, handsome black man. So our stories are different. That's exactly why we have to tell people that people are going to judge you regardless.
Yeah.
But are you going to let somebody else write your story, or are you going to be the author of your own story? You see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of the people in the world, they let their bosses become their editor of their own story. They let the CEO of a certain company that they work under write out their entire story for 40 years, 40 hours a week, right? The 40-40 plan, right? It's like, yo, you have to take the pen and finish your story. Whoever, it doesn't matter, whomever wants to judge you and judge the book by its cover, yeah, that's your book.
Yeah.
I'm Kevin okay with that. Whoa. That's my book. That's the title of my book, right? And if I want to open it, I can read the first few pages. It wasn't fully written by me. It was written by my parents, right?
Yeah. Infant can do anything.
Exactly. So it's like you can continuously read the book, open the book, continue to read the chapters. Eventually, you're gonna have to finish out your story because now you have the ability to finish out your story, regardless of who judges you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people can go in different routes when it comes to their lives. You can go the negative route, the positive route. People are going to judge you regardless. At the end of the day, you should go on the positive route, right? It's not that easy though for a lot of people because of that judgment that they're so used to in their previous years, in their previous pages, in the previous chapters, in their lives.
And a lot of that stuff is actually not even in their control. So they're like
Man.
dealt cards, and they got to figure out what to do with what they were handed. You know, your culture, where you're born, how you're raised, and then like genetic stuff, how tall you are, you know, if you have any like medical conditions, the color of your skin, like you're past all these things at birth. And it's up to you to determine if those are going to be beneficial for you,
Right.
or you're going to use them to bring you down. Like, oh, I'm not happy because I live in the inner city, you know, in a tough neighborhood.
Right.
Or, oh, I was so privileged. I lived in a very expensive house. My families did everything for me. So I'm pretty much just a grown baby.
Wow.
You know, what spectrum are you? And with whatever you were given, how do you flip that and make your story that much more enlightening, you know, from here on out in your life?
Right.
You could take rags or riches, and your story could be great or it could be horrible.
Right.
Depending on how you, like you said, how do you take that pen and how do you write out each page?
Right.
Yeah.
And that can run so deep, right? Because the main challenge when it comes to the whole judging the book by its cover can be yourself.
Yep.
It can be myself about judging myself every single time you wake up. But you have to understand that you live with yourself 24/7. So you might as well become your own best friend. To the point where when it comes to the judgment within, is judging like, yeah, I look good today. I look good today. I feel good, look great. Even though someone on the outer appearance might not have that kind of same perspective in regards to me. They might be like, you look decent. You're kind of too dark for me. I like them more white skin like Chad. And that's all good. You know, you can judge the book by its cover, or you can have a full-on conversation with me and understand my intellectual skills and understand that I know how to stimulate the mind here and there, and you know, and know that I have certain values that I can share with other people and I can sow into other people.
Right.
If you don't judge the book by its cover, right?
Yeah. And one big thing I realize that helps with that is how you judge yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, there's a time and place to be tough with yourself, but at the end of the day, you got to be like, I love you regardless. Like the love is always going to be
positive
there.
to yourself, man.
Yeah, speak positive to yourself. And yeah, there's like times you got to kick your ass, be like, dude, you've not been to the gym in, you know, weeks, days, minutes,
Right.
you know, whatever your situation is, years, gosh. And you're like, you know what? And you got to talk yourself mean in the mirror.
For sure.
But it's all stemming from love.
Boom.
It's like having that harsh talk with yourself, but it's all positive.
Yeah.
It's good judgment, but you're like, get your act together.
I,
I know there's so much better you can do with
Yeah.
what you got right now,
yeah,
and it's just encouraging yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then that gets projected into other people. So if you do get judged, it's almost like a buffer, or like a shield, where you can take criticism. Yeah, like don't just like block out your ears and be like, oh no, I'm doing the right thing. But it's like you're taking the criticism, but you're running it through like a funnel, or like, how'd you put it?
You said
It's like
you said
security
great.
check lines where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, where's this coming from?
Right,
What's the heart behind this person? Is this beneficial? Does this person truly care about it?
right,
Like there's like a filter system,
absolutely.
so like all the junk stays behind, but then the true stuff that you need to hear gets perfected.
Gold.
Yeah.
That's gold, Chad.
Yeah.
When it comes to just judging a book by its cover, just judging in general, we're all gonna do it.
Yeah. That'd actually be kind of cool to talk about, like how you
Yeah,
now then judge others, let's just say, or judge a business, or judge a community or something. So how does that look for you to then
Ooh.
look outward? Because we're just talking about how all of pretty much the reverse of what we just were saying.
right, right.
Yeah. So what's the opposite?
I would say when it comes to, like, say for instance, like when I judge someone, I try my hardest not to judge somebody negatively.
Mhm.
I try to judge someone and say, I wonder if there's some positive traits within that person. I'm sure there is some positive traits within that person, but however, there are certain times and days when, if say for if I'm going to like the Starbucks and I'm having like a meeting, and I see some people walk in, I'm automatically judging them just by their outer appearance. But that's in human nature.
Yeah.
That's within us. That's within our biology to automatically have a certain judgment in regards to people whenever you see them right off the bat.
It's a survival thing for sure.
Right.
You got to make snap judgments. You can't
Right.
sit there and process something, and then the lion jumps on you like, hey, is that a dangerous animal? Oh, it is. I'm dead. You
Right.
got to make those snap judgments. So I think that's kind of like in the same category as that.
It truly is.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's like whenever I'm back to that example, if I'm at Starbucks and I'm waiting for someone, I'm having like a business meeting or whatnot, and I'm seeing certain people walk in.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some people walk in with like rugged and dirty clothes, and the way certain people take care of themselves is not up to par per se.
Yeah.
And then I see somebody else walk in. I see a beautiful lady walk in with her kid and whatnot, and I see she looks good, elegant. Her kid is well taken care of. So it's like I'm judging off the bat. But at the same time, I try my hardest not to judge someone from a negative connotation per se. Because a lot of people are negative. A lot of people they get so sucked into drama more than positive news per se, or a positive outlook, a positive cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to judging the book by its cover, they don't even want to open the book because they see the outer appearances not that great. But that's why it's so critical and vital to ask certain people questions, to see why do they carry themselves like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's like gaining more information to make a better judgment.
Exactly.
Because like just say or in Starbucks, let's just say, and you see a lady walk in with like bunny slippers or something really funny.
Right.
You're gonna make a judgment. But then if you talk to them, it's like you gather more information, and then you figure out, I don't know, just from
For
them
sure.
talking, like, oh, this is a really intelligent woman. She just doesn't give a care today. Right.
Exactly.
She's like, I'm rocking the bunny slippers in Starbucks. I don't care what the world thinks of me. But then you like talk to them and you're like, oh, this is a really cool person. Kind of like
Absolutely.
you said, very stimulating with conversations, great head on her shoulders, very polite, carries herself well. She just has bunny slippers on for some damn reason, So it's kind of like, I think there's like a level where it's like you should judge stuff really quickly.
Yeah.
Kind of make like an assessment. Like, is this like a threat, or is this cool, or is this like, you just make like that initial thought,
Right.
but then it's like you should pause. No, that's like a placeholder until you actually find out more information.
Right.
Like a lot of girls have RBF, right?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Sure. Absolutely.
They use that sometimes as a buffer to keep weirdos away from them, or they just don't realize.
Right.
But then if you talk to them, you're like, oh, she's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because like there's steps, right? There's steps when it comes to judging. There's good judgment, And you got to pause, right?
Yes.
And then you can make your final assessment when it comes to judging. That could be good or bad.
Yeah.
So when it comes to judging, for me per se, I think judging could be it's part of us. It's gonna happen regardless. So be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, if I'm stepping out and about, I could be going to the gym, and if you see me with the hat on right now, I don't have a fresh haircut. I'm not looking as sharp as Chatty Daddy over here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like if I'm going to the gym, I'm gonna pick out my hair. I'm gonna make it look nice because I understand that people are gonna judge me regardless.
Yes.
If I smell myself, kind of smell today, I'm gonna, put some deodorant on, put some of our
Yeah.
cologne on,
Yeah.
and look good because I know that people are gonna judge me regardless.
For that first initial reaction,
Right.
it's like you have so many things in your favor. Like,
For sure.
clear skin,
Yeah.
white teeth, clean haircut, nice jacket, nice shoes. You go, oh, this guy's well put together. I have a more favorable
Judgment.
opinion of him. Now
Opinion,
that could still
exactly.
mean the opposite,
Yeah.
but like if you running through this life with like positive mindset, you want to help other people, be a light in this world,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. That is a good setup.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I think I believe, I would hope a lot of people out there in the world, they want to be a light. They want to be a positive impact. They want to be a positive force out there and so into a lot of people for a good reason. Right. But you have to work on yourself to begin with.
yeah,
So then you can go out there and then whenever people do judge you, it could come off as in, damn, I want to get to know that person. Look how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
That person judging you right off the bat. We're all judging each other.
it's like being like a true influencer,
Literally.
not someone who has a certain screen behind, a camera,
Right.
right? Like, oh, I'm really nice and friendly behind the camera, but behind closed doors, I'm a, a jerk.
right.
But like for you, it's like, oh, they see you face to face and they're like, wow, like, I love how Kevin carries himself. I kind of want to be like that. I want that
Man.
confidence. Gosh, what's his secret? And then you try to figure that out.
Right.
But then since you are just then they're judging you. Notice that?
For sure.
They're judging you in a favorable stance.
Right.
Like, oh, he's a very positive, happy person. I want to be around people who are like him.
Right.
I want to figure out what he does. What does he know? And just, yeah.
Man, absolutely.
See where things go from there.
Yeah, hey, for sure, Chad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chad, quick question for you personally.
Okay.
So when it comes to judgment, how do you take that in when it comes to someone judging you like negatively? Like when it comes to, like, say for instance, if you're having like a certain meeting.
Okay.
And some people in the meeting, they already know you. They're business owners and whatnot. But some people, they don't know you at all. And you can kind of tell when somebody's judging you in a negative way. It's like
their
that
mannerisms. Yeah.
he ain't got nothing to say, man. He's all talking. He's gonna talk about a pyramid scheme. He's gonna talk about some scheme like e-commerce or NFTs or stocks.
Yeah.
So how do you go about changing that negative tone into something positive? So that person they can judge you and assess you better if they want.
Okay. I would say first off, there are some lost causes. Like you can't make everybody happy.
For sure.
You could strive for that. You're going to be a very miserable person. There's just going to be people who just dislike you just for you being you. Just for you existing on this earth, they're going to despise you or it's just not going to work. And I used to try to like win them over.
Kind of like people pleasing per se, kind of?
I would say like a people pleasing.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you want to like show them like, hey, whatever perspective you have of me, it's wrong. Let me try to prove it. But then you are giving them all this power. Meanwhile, you're sacrificing your own happiness and well-being because you're trying to please another human being. And at the end of the day, why? How many people are here on earth? How often are you going to engage with this person? Is it really worth it?
Right.
So from what I understand, like from those kind of situations where someone's like, oh, this guy, I just noticed it's like, they don't know the full picture. At least that's how I view it. Where
they haven't opened up the book to read it. They just judging the book by the cover.
Yeah, they just see the covers. And it's like, I know, I try to think a little bit deeper on that, where it's like, okay, this person's coming at me this way. probably because of things that they've either seen or heard or from their past.
Mm.
You know, like I've actually been told like a lot of girls will judge a current guy or a guy that's hitting on them just because of they remind them of their ex.
Wow.
Or they're like, oh yeah, I don't date tall white guys. Oh, why? I've had bad experiences. Well, it's probably because they've been burned twice or once from someone they truly cared about. So then they take that and then they push it here.
Damn.
But then that like tall white guy
Yeah.
could talk to that girl, win her over by just engaging in banter, just flirting, just being chill, being himself. And then it's like, oh, she kind of relaxes. So it's like lack of information is what I'm trying to say here.
Right.
So it's like, okay, this person with their arms crossed, they're like, oh, this person's not going to show me anything. It's like, well, this person just doesn't know the full picture of you. So ask questions, get to know them, get them talking, see what their concerns are, just see what they have on their mind. And they'll like go like this, and you say, oh, so like, are there any questions or comments? He's like, yeah, well, I don't really agree with this. Oh, tell me more. And then you notice, like, once you let them have a platform and like talk and they feel like they're being listened to, you're gonna see those arms start to uncross. Then they're gonna start to sit up. Maybe you make a joke here and there and it kind of breaks the tension and they start laughing. And before the end of it, they're like, he's a cool guy. That's how they perceive you. Granted, once again, you can't always get there.
Right.
But that's what I've realized. A lot of people judge you off of just what they know and what their past was. But you can flip that by just being authentic to yourself.
Damn.
It's pretty powerful.
Being authentic to yourself.
Yeah, being authentic to yourself, not trying to put on some kind of mask, not trying to be someone that you're not.
Yeah.
Like I'll just own it right now. Talking right now in front of the camera still kind of freaks me out. But I'm just embracing. I'm just like, it is what it is.
It is.
But I could be a fake person, be like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm born to do. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
So just like someone who's judging you, just be yourself. Just be chill.
Right. Gold.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are taking notes with the notepad, the pen. Take notes because Chad is getting some pure wisdom right now on judging the book by its cover and how to go about it in certain ways and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say there's also a lot more different ways we can dive into if you want, but yeah, just sometimes even if you do everything, the person will still just have a vendetta against you.
Right.
They'll just dislike you and they're going to hold on to that story until they're gone, until you're gone.
Unfortunately,
like,
right.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. Like to each their own. Like they can judge you and they can hate you for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
But that is their right.
Absolutely.
So it's like, hey, you can hate me. I choose not to have hate in my heart. So everyone I run into, there's only like a few people I do truly hate, rightfully so, and I think that's actually a beneficial thing too.
For sure.
Because that means you stand for something and you disagree completely with someone else.
Damn.
How would you feel about that actually? About like, that's actually something. So that's like the full spectrum that people are afraid of when it comes to judgment is the word hate. I hate that guy. I hate that girl. I hate that person.
Bro, just from judging them, right? They just hate someone.
Yeah.
Or they just love them, admire them.
Worship.
Oh man, we can literally dive into that on a lot of degrees.
Yes.
We can talk about when it comes to like a president per se.
Yeah.
When it comes to politics, it could be Biden
these days.
It could be Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Obama. It could be Bush. And then people automatically say that they hate somebody just from what they've been seeing on the news. When they don't even fully know that person, they can say that they hate someone.
Yeah.
Right. Or they can say, oh, I love them. I love them. Or it can be like an artist like Beyonce, Drake, and Bad Bunny, and Wizkid, and Shania Twain, and all these famous people.
Yeah.
Or Rihanna, I love them so much. Or some people can say, I hate them. How are you going to judge the book by its cover when you personally don't know that person?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you judge them on that case, like just say a president.
Yeah.
It could be whoever's in office, doesn't matter if you're red or blue, right?
Right.
But you'll judge them off of everything that you've heard around your society and everything you see on television. If you see, a newscast says this president said this, or this president wants to take this away, you're immediately going to be flared up. You're going to be mad, or you're going to be excited, like, oh, he agrees with me.
Right.
Or, oh, screw him. He totally thinks different than me. But you just see like a very well planned attempt to get your opinion one way or the other with the person.
Right.
Just like with the music industry, like, oh, you see them doing charity events. That's awesome.
For sure.
You know, or you see them do this, you see them do that. You're judging them based off of what you're seeing and what you're hearing.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that could be detrimental to judging.
Yeah.
You know, because you can literally be judging that book completely wrong.
It could be. It could be all manipulation.
Right. If you don't personally know someone, that's why for me it's kind of hard for me to hate someone. And it's hard for other people to like hate me,
Right.
you know, because I am like I try to be a light out and about. I try to be a light to someone's darkness.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what somebody's like going through within their own lives.
Yeah.
So I want that person to judge me like, damn, this person a positive person. They're so delightful.
Yeah.
And he's saying certain things to me, and he didn't even know I was going through certain things today. But he just not made my day. He just not saved my life because I was judging him because of the persona that he's bringing forward to the table.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like artists and, you know, politicians and whatnot, and it's like, yo, people are gonna only broadcast what they want other people to hear per se. It could be negative, it could be drama, because a lot of people they get so tied into drama more than positivity.
Yeah.
So they're gonna
It sells.
it sells.
It sells.
It
So
sells.
what's that one quote? Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, all publicity, good
If you
publicity.
got
for
arrested,
sure.
it's like, oh, did you hear so and so got arrested?
Boom, right.
And
there's
then now you're
publicity.
all excited thinking about so and so.
Right.
Because now they're in your conscious.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're probably gonna judge them as an I hate them. I hate how could they
Yeah,
do such a
I
thing?
don't like them anymore.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
that. How can you do that? Or oh, I love them. I love that person. I love them. I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
It's like that. Those two words, love and hate. Those two words can run so deep. But at the same time, man, it's like if you person don't know someone,
Yeah.
to have that kind of judgment upon someone, it's like, yo, what are you doing exactly? I would say just remove those two words out of your vocabulary. Just remove it.
Yeah.
Just remove it. Man, it's like stop judging in that degree.
Yeah.
Of course, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I'm sure I've said I love that person before. I hate that person. I hate the way he's saying certain things, or I hate that girl. But at the end of the day, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, you gotta judge yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta judge yourself and ask yourself, why are you saying certain things about that person? It's like, man, they really don't give a damn about your opinion anyway. They don't even know you.
Yeah.
Stop judging.
Well, the thing with what you just said there with love and hate, it's like going back to how you were raised.
Yeah.
You're raised in a society called the United States.
Yeah.
You're raised by a family,
Right.
and they all have beliefs and thoughts that were handed to them, and now those beliefs and thoughts are handed to you. So when you think of like strong words like love and hate, you having these talks to yourself is you actually thinking for yourself. But why do I love that music artist who I never met? Why do I love this person, or why do I hate this person? So it's more like you just getting clarity in your own life and realizing, hey, why do I think and say these things? It's you doing like a lot of self-reflection, going, oh, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be told to feel this way either. I see that this is what I was raised in,
Right.
from the society I live in, but I don't want to. Like how they say, oh, you should worship this person, you should watch this person, oh, this person's the hottest thing in town right now. It's like, well, it's up to you to decide that for yourself. Don't just go on a bandwagon.
Right. Right.
Or on a hate bandwagon. It's like truly think for yourself and go, okay,
Think
do
for
I
yourself.
really care about this? No, I really don't. And then you're kind of free.
Yeah.
So you don't like love this person obsessively. You don't hate this person obsessively. It's just like, oh, they're doing their thing. They're a human being just like me.
Yeah.
How would you say if you find out someone that you did like did something totally wrong? Would you then shift to be like, they're done in my eyes?
Shit, that kind of like judgment.
Yeah, like you would
shifting
shift that-
judgment.
yeah, like you would be like, oh, this person's really cool. And then you find out they did something pretty heinous.
Yeah.
And it's like, how would you handle that?
Well,
Someone you looked up to some certain extent, You find out they did something really bad and now they're in jail
Right.
for crazy reasons or just some reasons you don't agree with.
Right. And see, I wouldn't fully judge them because I wasn't in their shoes when they attempted said thing, or if they even did said things to put them locked up.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fully judge them. I wouldn't fully judge them if I like supported them before.
Yeah.
Like there's a name that I don't know if I can say right now, so we might get banned or whatnot. But I'm not gonna say the name. But anyway, I think
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
a
yeah.
name.
AT are the initials, right?
Exactly. It's like if you don't know the entire picture,
Yeah.
but you know that society, if you know deep down inside you're doing something positive for society,
Yeah.
and society feed off of so much negativity and drama to begin with,
Yeah.
because it sells.
Mhm.
It's like, yo, you're gonna be the outcast, that person that you're pretty much kind of supporting, even though that person might be saying some real truth. Honestly, being honest with people and have a certain dialect that can be the sky is blue or the sky's fucking blue. It's the same thing, right? It's like
I'd say there's more passion in the second one.
for sure, more
Yeah.
passion. But some people might be, oh, I don't like the way you said it.
Yeah.
The way you said it was, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And truth is really hard for some people too.
It really
They
is.
like to just live in a fantasy wonderland equivalent, and
Yeah.
that's where they want to park it. That's totally cool. They can do whatever they want. But
Right.
when they hear someone who says the truth or comes at them a certain way, then they judge. They
Yeah.
go, hey, you're against my paradigm, so therefore I hate you.
Right.
You know, I hope you get killed. They say crazy stuff.
A lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, like you should never. I don't know.
It's
That's pushing the
especially
line.
especially when you're in the limelight.
Yeah.
You know, and your name is starting to get more popular. Like,
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, Chad, as soon as this Black Man and Chad podcast eventually goes viral overnight, oh, people are for sure gonna be, oh, I don't like the way they're saying this. They're part of like the red pill community or the blue pill community or the black pill community or all these pill communities, whatever. And we're not even part of that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Because we actually live our lives to the point where we've experienced a lot in life. When it comes to women, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to just stumbling on our words, when it comes to going out there and doing what the most don't do, right?
So things that are not a screen,
Right. There's gonna be judgment regardless.
not just screen time.
Right.
Yeah.
So rewind. When it comes to like, if somebody ends up doing certain things and they end up like getting locked up for it, even though I was supporting them heavily to begin with.
Yeah.
And then they end up getting locked up. I'm not gonna judge that person for what they did because I don't know the full story. I don't know their full story. So why am I gonna judge that chapter when I didn't read that chapter in their book?
I think another thing too I just thought of is what information is getting pumped out and who's pumping out the information.
Exactly.
That's making you think, oh, this person's really bad.
Right.
Here's the list of reasons why. Where's that list coming from? And
Who
are those
knows?
actual facts?
Who knows?
Or is that actual truth?
right.
Or is that a lie? Is that a fit? Like where does it kind of go on that scale?
Right.
Because I think everyone that would watch this would realize there's a lot of manipulation going on.
Absolutely.
You know, people in power want to manipulate things so they stay where they're at, and that's human nature in
For
itself.
sure. For sure.
Right? If I get a big old house, I don't want to lose it. That's my
Right.
bar now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go below it. Then I feel like I'm receding in life.
Right.
No, you want to keep that. So yeah,
Receding like my hairline, but anyway, that's a different topic.
I was gonna make a joke about that too. Yeah, not your hairline, my hairline. Joke. Yeah,
Chad, you got the perfect hair, man.
dude, I'm just happy my hairline hasn't changed in like
This man doesn't
8
age.
years.
This
I'm
man does not
I'm
age.
happy about that.
AKA Chatty Daddy. In the comments, make sure you guys mention Chatty Daddy. Because a lot of females out there, they either want a handsome white man or a handsome black man, a black man and a Chad. But don't judge us now. Don't judge me saying Chatty Daddy. That's just his nickname.
I'm just a dude. Just a dude. It's a little funny joke that honestly just took off like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at even that though, if someone were to say, "Hey, Chatty Daddy," and they say in public like that, and there's people around that are strangers.
It's hilarious.
People are gonna judge you or judge that girl for saying chatty daddy. It's like,
Yeah.
I promise I'm not a pimp. My name is Chad Pressburger. It's the inside joke. They just call me chatty daddy for a reason. It's the
Yeah.
inside joke.
Yeah.
But people are gonna judge regardless, man, if they even hear that.
Because it's it's a little sexualized.
Right.
And that's actually what's really funny because like at my jobs, there's a portion of people that love to say it. It's like it's an inner joke, friend groups, business groups, everything, right? There's like a portion of them that are like, man, that's chatty daddy. And then like new people or existing people, they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna call you that. I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to. Like, if you feel like I went to a wedding, right? Like
Yeah.
2 years ago. And one of the groomsmen, I was a groomsman as well.
Yeah.
He introduced me to his wife. And he's like, this is chatty daddy. I only knew the guy from like the bachelor party,
Yeah,
right? So
for
not
sure.
that long. He was on board with the chatty daddy. His wife like looked at me, like she stuck out her hand and then she pulled back. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, this is chatty daddy. He's all excited. I'm like, hey, you just call me chatty. She's like, yeah, I'm not gonna call you chatty daddy. I'm like, please don't. So it's just an inside joke nickname. Just it is what it is.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, she's like, that's chatty daddy. She was a believer. I was just like, what? It was just funny.
She was a believer.
She was a believer. She's like, yeah, that's chatty daddy. She's like, I get the nickname now.
Yeah.
But once again, the judgment, right?
Right.
The first judgment is you, that's gross, or whatever opinion, to, oh, I get the context. I get who you are. I get where the nickname is. It's not what I thought it was. I'm okay with it.
Right.
Or she could be okay with it or not okay with it. And that doesn't matter either.
Exactly.
Because that's her own belief. Her
Yeah.
own opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's pretty much always
Yeah.
3 trials when it comes to judgment.
Hmm.
You know, when you first you're gonna be like, you're gonna judge someone bad or negative or good or positive, right?
Yeah.
And then if you want, you can dive into the second trial, is actually asking certain questions and getting to know them a little bit more on why,
Seeking to understand.
seeking to understand why they
Yeah.
call you chatty daddy.
Yeah.
And then after that, you understand, okay, I understand now. And then for the third trial, you're gonna be more comfortable and within that judgment.
Yeah.
And you're gonna understand, like, okay, now I know why. Right. So there's always like 3 trials when it comes to judgment.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's like your initial reaction,
Yeah.
the developing idea, and then your consensus.
Right.
And I think it can continue from there, but that's usually how you start off. Kind of like, I don't know if you wanted to talk about it, but that's why I think the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case was so paramount.
Man.
Because like when that first came out, everyone accused him of things, but then there was like that core group that was like, no, we stand with Johnny. We know he's innocent. That's not him.
Yeah.
But then like other platforms and stuff went, no, he's gone. They believed her. And then the court case happened. And then everyone saw who he truly was and who she truly was. And they made their new judgment, or they stayed the same,
Right.
you know, and it's up to you if you want to lean or believe on one side or think they're both screws.
For
You
sure.
know, but then again, like, why should you even say that? They're just people
Exactly.
living a life that you can't understand because it's a lot more complicated
Right.
than just what you see behind a screen, you know?
And there's always gonna be that judgment, man. Like,
Yeah.
people were either on Johnny Depp's side or Amber Heard's side.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but then again, too, that's part of human nature, is that people are always gonna judge regardless, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Depends how you receive or feed off of certain energy when it comes to judgment.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure when it came to that situation, that when people actually did their research in regards to it,
Yeah.
like that case, they fully understood, like, damn, she is guilty as hell.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I was woman empowerment for the woman, she's innocent. Or if you're like a misogynist dude and no, I'm all for the man, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to also see both sides of the spectrum, man.
Yeah.
You know, you have to see both sides of the judgment.
Yeah.
On why people are judging this person and why people are judging this person, why someone's on this person's side and why someone's on this person's side. You know?
And that's kind of what a court system is. It's
Right.
this person, the plaintiff, says these things.
Yeah.
The defendant says these things. They go to court to prove their case. Hey, here's the facts. Here's the logic. Here's the truth. And they might misconstrue it, they might manipulate it to win their side, but that's what the whole point of a court system is.
Right.
It's like, okay, who's right, who's wrong? Or are you both wrong? Or are you both right? It's just a perspective,
Absolutely.
and then that's when closure happens.
Man.
Yeah, that's why I think that case was really good, because I hope it opened a lot of people's eyes, not to just jump to conclusions with people. If you see some
Judge.
article, like if something horrible happens to you, you should just like give them grace, be like, hey, you're innocent till proven guilty.
Right.
Once you're proven guilty, then it's like, okay, then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna feel a certain,
right.
You're gonna act a certain way.
Absolutely.
But you shouldn't just jump to the conclusion.
Man.
Yeah.
Deep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. So another thing I want to talk about when it comes to judging the book by its cover is that a lot of times you can actually learn a lot once you actually eliminate that judgment. There's certain books I read in my life. I didn't think I'd be even a reader after I graduated from UNR.
Yeah.
But this man changed my life.
Yeah.
But there's certain books I'm like, the magic of thinking big. I already think big. How much bigger do I gotta think? So I was judging that book, right? Until I kept on hearing it from multiple business owners and people that are more wealthier than I am and have more fruit on the tree than I do. You got to read that book, Kev. You got to read that book. You got to read that book too, viewer. The Magic of Thinking Big. It's a great book, right? And don't just judge a book by its cover. Actually, continuously read the book.
Yeah.
Keep on reading. Don't give up. Read tomorrow. Read the next day. Open, finish that chapter. Keep on reading until you finish that book. And then you can have a full assessment and judgment upon that book, right? And like you can learn so much when you stop judging so much. When you shut the hell up and just let someone speak, or when you shut the hell up and open that book and let that person speak to you, because they wrote that, the author wrote that book for a reason.
Yeah, it's like giving it a chance.
It's like, yo, stop your judgment.
Yeah.
I remember one day, I'm not gonna say the business owner's name. He's worldwide famous and like known within like e-commerce. But I remember one day, Chad, we had like a meeting at Starbucks and we were just talking and whatnot. And then the following day was this business owner was gonna come to town.
Oh, and I remember that. Yeah, didn't we both do that?
And we were both judging, like, man, this fool is old. I don't really connect with him. And we were just judging like crazy.
Can I pause you for one
Oh,
second?
go ahead.
So
Yeah.
also too, we felt that way because of what we previously saw.
Right.
We're like, okay, this guy talks on and on about nothing. Or like little micro stories that you're like, I'm getting nothing from this.
It doesn't really reflect us.
It doesn't do anything for you.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we went in prejudged. And then we vented our judgment there at the Starbucks.
Right. Which was wild to me because we can all catch ourselves judging in a negative realm.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we judging so much when we haven't even attended that event?
Yeah.
It's like us going to if we go see a movie tonight, right? I don't even know what movies are out right now. If you guys have any movies that are out right now, recommendations for us so we can go judge it, let us know. But yeah, it's like if we go watch a movie, Chad, and we're like, yeah, this is awesome. And then we go back to our homes and whatnot, like you go to your girlfriend, and like she's kind of judging, like, why would you go watch that? It just sounds lame. I feel it's lame.
Yeah.
And she's just judging while at the same time you actually step foot in the theater and watch that movie.
Yeah.
You actually know what it's about. And that's like, yo, that's the best movie ever. But then you go to somebody else that hasn't seen the movie and they're making that judgment in regards to that movie that they haven't seen.
Yeah.
That can stem on all of the topics that we've been talking about so far.
Yeah.
It's like you haven't even seen this person talk in person about what how they became wealthy. Why are you judging that person when we were at that Starbucks?
Yeah.
Just judging them. It's like, yo, they're wealthier more than us.
Yeah.
It's like they've been in the industry when it comes to e-commerce longer than us. So why don't we just shut the hell up and stop judging that book by its cover and its 10 so we can finally open that book and read that book and actually understand, like, damn.
Yeah.
This dude just giving me blessings. And what's crazy, Chad, till today, I listened to the audio of the recording I did of that business owner. And it's like I take certain golden nuggets out from that talk because it impacted me tremendously.
To this day, even though that
To
was
this
a couple
day.
years ago or something.
It was last year, I believe. Last year or 2 years ago, maybe
Yeah, I
last
think
year.
it was last year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stopped judging after I attended, right? It's like, yo, sometimes you gotta just shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Attend something and actually understand, like, okay, this is why okay, this is wow.
Seek to understand.
Seek to understand.
Yeah, so
rather
it's like,
than
why do I
being
feel-
understood?
Yeah, it's like questioning like why you feel this way. And I swear, I think I mentioned this right before we started. I feel like I have a curse where if I ever judge someone that's right in front of me in a harsh way
Yeah.
from whatever, right? The way they carry themselves, the way they look, it's a curse, I swear. Every time I go, oh, this person's going to act a specific way, or this person, I'm going to receive them a certain way. It's always the opposite. Like it literally happened, I think, 2 nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was serving a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And there's one guy, he was like very, very picky with his order and very, very picky with what drink he wanted. I'm like, oh, this son of a, I was just in my head, happy as ever, right? And I was judging him.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is at the end of the night, he's like, hey man, I can read you and I can tell right now there's something not going right here. So I hope you're doing well. And then he was just very kind. And the only person that stepped out and said something. I'm like, damn. What a cool guy.
Gotcha.
Good thing. And I judged him for a split second
Yeah.
because he's really picky about something. And then I realized I was wrong for the thoughts I had. Didn't verbalize it, but I just thought them, right? Sometimes you can't help them.
Right.
But it's that curse I'm talking about. Whenever I feel a certain way, it's always the opposite. Damn, it's always the opposite.
That's
He
crazy.
was the coolest guy of the night. I judged him too because he smelled of alcohol, right?
Right.
He looked a little grubby. Still was wrong. He was still the best person out of everybody that showed up.
That's
Out of
wild.
like 150 people. He was the coolest.
And that was the one that you were judging hard.
That's the
for.
one I was judging the harsh because I was, anger comes and goes,
Yeah,
right?
for
It's just
sure.
emotion, right?
Yeah.
Embrace it. But I was internally angry. So everything that would go wrong, I was like, oh, it'd get to me.
Right.
But then that's when I was like, oh, wake up.
Yeah.
You judge, you will pay for it. And I
For
paid
sure.
for it because oh, why did I think those things? Oh, I'm such a tool. You just go, okay, that's a lesson. Don't judge until you fully know.
Exactly.
Or just know more.
That's key, right? It's like, man, we're all gonna judge.
Yep.
You're gonna judge, your mama's gonna judge, your daddy's gonna judge, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, everyone's gonna judge. The homeless person, the vagrant, they're all gonna judge. You're gonna judge too. But you have to actually get to know someone. And I like what you mentioned earlier, Chad. You said you got to ask questions, right?
Yeah.
And that's a huge issue nowadays. A lot of people. I'm not gonna single a woman out because women aren't the greatest when asking questions, and that's okay. It's okay, baby girl. It's all good. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people they suck at asking questions because they truly don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. A lot of people don't give a damn about who trying to get to know someone more and whatnot. So they end up having some kind of judgment.
I think they judge so quick. They're like, you add no value to me.
Boom.
They see you add no absolute value to me. And
Right.
That's very upsetting for me whenever I see someone act really nice to either myself or someone else.
Yeah.
And then I see them act totally different to somebody.
Right.
And I swear it's the value thing. They're like I see this with women. A lot of
Speaking of women
and
now.
younger women. This isn't a judgment thing. This is just an observation.
For sure.
A lot of younger women and older women, they know they don't add value to each other. The older women are jealous of the younger ones. And the younger ones are like, you're washed up. So they hate each other. I see this all the time at my job. I'm like, why do these women hate each other? And I'm like, oh, it's because they don't see the value in each other. But all if they did was communicate. Because I'm friends with both sides.
Right.
right? I'm friends with them. I'm friends with them. It's a little different friendship, obviously, but it's like they don't see the value in each other. So they're like, everything you do and say, I just dislike,
Right.
you know?
The
And I think
judge-
guys could do that too with competition. They
For
see
sure.
the buff guy at work or they see the buff guy at the gym.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't compare to him, so I'm going to be jealous and not talk to him.
Mm.
That's another thing too.
And then they'll be pretty much judging, like, man,
Yeah, he's a show off. Oh, he's such a cool. Oh, he's such a Chad.
he's such a
He's
Chad.
such a, he's such a loser. He's a womanizer. Like they put these labels because the guy that perceives himself as weaker than that guy
Right.
judges him harshly.
Damn.
Or they can judge him in a stance where if you're got a healthy mindset, it's like, oh, this guy is better than me in
Mm.
certain aspects that he sees from his perspective.
Right.
I need to get to know him and see like what's up. What does he do? What's his workout routine? What's he, I gotta glean off of him somewhat.
Right.
I gotta follow this leader, right? Kind of like we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, Chad.
Yeah.
Judgment is gonna happen, especially when it comes like as you were saying, when it comes to a woman, like older women judging and disliking younger women and boomer age type woman talking about the Gen Z type of upcoming woman, and there's always that like battle going on. There's battles going on within everyone,
In
in
cultures,
cultures
yeah.
and societies.
Yep.
It's like, but you have to learn how to communicate and ask questions so you can then understand
And just humanize him.
where
think
someone's
of
coming
the-
from.
Yeah,
Man.
just like humanize them and just realize that this is another person. Maybe they don't act or walk or look like you.
Right.
Still got a human soul in there somewhere,
For sure. For sure.
And that's where I think a lot of what's the word I'm looking for right now? Quality. That's where you see each other as equals.
Okay.
Just going like, oh, you're a human being just like me. Hi, what's up?
For sure.
Damn,
and that right there can lead you far in life.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of healthy mindset of asking questions so you don't judge wrong about someone.
Yeah, especially someone that you don't agree with.
Exactly.
Either like someone who doesn't carry themselves the same way
Man.
you do. Yeah.
Or like somebody that you're seeing on TV that's famous and it's like you can judge that person so much from what they're televising on television.
Yeah.
They're telling a vision, right? Television tells a vision. It might not be your vision, it's gonna be their vision on how they can make more money and attract the viewer per se, right? So it's like you have to have a healthy set of mindset when it comes to judging and having that judgment upon other people.
Right.
So you can then life will become way more better for you if you do have that kind of mindset, Chad. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that right now. It's like you got to have a healthy mindset. A lot of people don't. Unfortunately, they're going to be doing the same thing they're going to be doing. It's Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Drinko, and people are going to be out and about turning up, and people are going to be drunk. They're going to be judging other people. They're going to be under the influence, and it's probably not going to end up as what we've been talking about, healthy judgment, and it's going to happen regardless. But at the same time,
yeah,
it's all good.
It is.
Life goes on regardless. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing. It's a
Absolutely.
beautiful thing. Chatty Daddy,
Absolutely.
you have any last words, bro?
Oh, I think we nailed it just right there. Just judgment's going to happen. Just make sure that you're voting on yourself and you just have everything we talked about in play.
Gold.
Being open-minded.
You have to.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our next episodes. Make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a family member to tell a hater to subscribe. A Black Man in Chad. Stay tuned for our next episodes.
Yes, sir.
We got some fire ones coming up. Let's get it.